Welcome back to Meaningful Conversations live with Beata. Today I am streaming episode 109. Whoa, that's quite a bit. My name is Beata, your host. I'm also a speaker, a coach, and I love to interview another change makers because I love change and I love to help people to make the positive change in their life. And today I have another awesome, very special, and oh my gosh, he's such a big persona that I can still believe that he is there on the other side and we're gonna talk to him. Today I have Jim Grant with me, and let me tell you a little bit. I don't have the whole hour to talk about Jim, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit. Jim, he after 31 years, he eventually retired from U.S. Army as a master sergeant and Vietnam veteran. 31 years, man, wow. Well, somehow, what we're gonna find out how successfully he became entrepreneur, and he is public speaker with 25 years of experience. Jim is now the host of 2 daily live TV shows on the E360 TV network, Messages of Inspiration and Hope and Everyday People. He also is the host of the weekly radio show, Your Future is Now. It's the title. Jim is the co-founder of Scale Pathway and co-founder of the 6-Minute Webinar. Jim founded and owned a manufacturing business that earned preferred vendor status with many Fortune 500 companies. So, hello. How is it possible that this little Polish girl has this big man on her show? Welcome, Jim.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you so much for having me on your show. And it's really an honor and a privilege to be here for me. It really is, Beata. You and I, we got a track record together. We've been on shows together, and I'm just honored to be here with you too, because your story is a story that needs to be heard around the world because it's very inspiring.
And I know we all know how wonderful you are and helping other people to get out to the world, their name, their stories. But let's focus on your story today. And today we're gonna talk together about scaling your future now. And when I thought, like when I was learning about you more and getting to know you, and the funny thing that first time that I got to know you a little bit, it was the Messages of Inspiration and Hope when I was speaking, and you were so nice. I was so scared of speaking, and you were so nice and encouraging. So thank you so very much. But except of that, I was following you and your wisdom and your successes, and I was like, oh my gosh, how is it possible that this man serving to the country for so many years, then one day he just stopped doing that? So my question is, what did your military background teach you about entrepreneurship?
Military teaches you a lot. There's a lot to do with discipline, a lot to do with respect. And I think those two keys are pertinent for anyone, everywhere, because if you're not self-disciplined and you don't love yourself and you don't respect others and love them, you're lost. I mean, you're out in left field. You're totally lost. You're just out of touch with life. That's what I tell people when they ask me that.
Wow, that is inspiring, and I can witness that what you do every single day. But I still gonna stay a little bit in there because it's so fascinating about when you were serving in military. What was your greatest challenge when your time in military ended, and how did you, or how were you able to scale that and create the future that you are living at the moment, the successful future?
Yeah. It was kind of hard on me. Excuse me, my throat's a little bad. Been talking a lot earlier today, but it was really hard on me because when I went to the mailbox and I got the envelope and I looked what was in it, and it says officially retired. It's my official retirement. And that's when reality set in for me because I lost my military family. I was in the reserves for 28 years, and I was a certified instructor for 12 years. And now I could no longer be associated with these folks, you know, on the weekends and summer camps and that sort of thing. And really what kind of hit me, and this may be kind of sound funny to some folks, but I thought, wow, this getting old is a new experience for me. I'm mandatorily retired. I got to go now. I'm too old because I've been young all my life. And there is a key to that because you always stay young up here in your mind. That's what keeps you young. And to hang out with like-minded people who think like you do, who want to give back, who look for ways to serve others, that's when you're really living. And if you're just doing things for the money, I feel sorry for you because you're cheating yourself out of the true riches of life, of being a blessing to others. That's the most important thing I can say today or anywhere.
Wow, that is inspiring as well. And Jim, you just said that you were speaking all day, so like your day is busy with speaking, and it just brings me this question also because you shared in many of your interviews that there was a time in your life that you had some very rare phobia. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Glossophobia is what it's called. Glosso comes from the Greek word meaning tongue. We know what a phobia is. You're scared of something. I had a fear of public speaking, and that started way back in the third grade. I was convinced my third grade teacher was there just to torture me in school because that was a tough year for me. And when she said we're going to give oral book reports, for some reason, fear just gripped me. And it scarred me because we had not just give one, but two, one in the fall, one in the spring. And I did horrible at both of them. I was nervous. I was scared. And I was, talking faster than an auctioneer going through that story. And it scarred me for decades. And then sometimes in life, a door will open that you must go through. And I had to go through this door in the reserves to become a certified instructor. And I remember I got up real early that morning. I was driving over there, and my dad's old words that he told me so many times growing up came to my mind, especially with me having such a fear of public speaking. Son, when did this sound like a good idea to you? But fortunately, and I have a free little gift that I can give people that overcoming the fear of public speaking. Just email me at inspiration@e360tv.com. I'll be glad to send it to you. But fortunately, I was around senior instructors who understood that public fear, and they coached me and trained me and helped me overcome it. And if you're out there and you've got a message and you need to take your message to the world, but you're scared of public speaking, you can conquer this fear. Trust me on that. Because the key of it is you don't speak what you want to say to others. You want to speak from your heart with a focus on what you deliver is a blessing to others. That's the mindset right out of the gate. If you do that, the rest of it's going to be downhill for you.
How did you decide about your message? How people are, for example, there is someone in the audience like, oh my gosh, I'm scared of speaking, but maybe there is a message in me. How do they find that message?
It's very easily because when you love yourself and you love others and you want to come from the heart and your entire focus is on what your message is going to do for that one or two people out there that you can really help them or change their lives, you focus on that. You're having a one-on-one, heart-to-heart discussion through the camera, or even if you're on a stage, You're having a heart-to-heart, one-on-one conversation with the audience. It's that simple. And like I tell people sometimes when I'm speaking, I said, sometimes I get up here, I don't know what I'm going to say, and you don't know what I'm going to say. So that kind of balances everything out. We're just going to talk.
That's so awesome. And you are successful. Oh my gosh, 25 years speaking. That is quite amount of time.
Yeah.
And have you ever had some funny situation on the stage, and how did you get out of that?
Funny situations?
Yeah, like maybe you were, I don't know, speaking with someone because there are sometimes we have in teams, and maybe that person, I don't know, there is a situation and you had to get out of it.
There's one that came to mind. There was a gentleman in an audience, and he was very tired. He explained to me later he had been up all night, and he had been doing some things, and he hadn't had much rest over the last couple of days, and he had fell asleep during my presentation. And so I'm walking down off the podium, around the podium. I don't like to stand behind a podium because that's a barrier between you and the audience. But I was walking down the stage there and walking out the aisle there, and he was sitting to my left. And all of a sudden he fell out of the chair right in front of me. And I remember I looked down at him. I said, was it something I said? Because always, look at the light side. And he got up, he was so embarrassed. And that's what he told me. I'm sorry, I didn't have any sleep last night and all that. But it's kind of funny when things go wrong, you make a joke out of it. When you were first on the Messages of Inspiration and Hope, that was a webinar series on Zoom back during the pandemic. I was the host one day, and I got kicked off of Zoom 3 times. I mean, I'm gone, and the wheel's sitting there spinning, trying to connect. And so I come back in, and fortunately for me, I had Janie, a young lady, I'm trying to think of her name now, Janie, what her last name is, I can't recall off the top of my head, but she was a great fill-in for me. So I think Jim lost communication or lost signal, whatever. I come back, oh, Jim's back, I said, yeah, I had to go down to the ATM machine, get some more quarters. I didn't have enough quarters put in this thing. And just make a joke out of it, because I'll tell you what, I've seen people when they're doing a presentation and their slides don't work, they lose it. They freeze up. They hit the panic button. And when that happens, you just drive on. Just make a joke out of it. So, okay, I guess I didn't connect the 2 wires together correctly, so they don't work, so we're just going to drive on. Blow it off, because people are there to listen to you, not to watch a slideshow. The slides are only an aid to reinforce what you're talking about, if that makes sense.
I love what you're saying, because I hardly ever use slides, and I know that very often people were asking the event organizers, like, are you sure? And like, yes, like I rather speak, and it's my coach, speaker coach, said I rather speak from my heart than from my mind, because when we just learn it and something happens, like, okay, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. When something is in your heart, I like what you said there. When it's in your heart, you don't have to worry about remembering it, because that's who you are. That's who people want to listen to. They want to listen to the real, authentic you.
I love what you said. So how do you bring this real, authentic you on the stage? Because very often I noticed, especially younger in meaning the speakers that just starts. I'm kind of there too, but very often we pretend to be someone else on the stage. I was trained by, let's say, I was trained by Tony Robbins, and I saw many people doing like acting like Tony Robbins, but it's so not authentic, because you never can fake someone else. Right. So how you are you on the stage?
Oh, it's very simple. I mean, like I tell everybody, just be the authentic you. And the way that happens, or the way you can do that, is what is the passion in your heart? What is the one thing that you can share with others? You may only help one person, but you may be the only person on planet Earth that can help that one person. So that's why you come from the heart, from your true passion. And when you speak heart to heart, you don't want to look like anybody else because you're not anyone else. You're very, very special. And all the people that's been born on this earth and or will be born, there's no one like you. So be yourself, be authentic, because not everybody's going to connect with me, and that's okay. But the people I can connect to and does connect with me, I want to make sure they connect with my heart. Because anything that I deliver on a stage, whether I have a call to action or not, I'm coming from the heart. Some speakers come from the wallet.
That's so true.
And those people there, I feel sorry for because they cheat themselves out of the true riches of life. It's kind of like my dad told me when I was growing up. He said, son, remember this. Some people bring happiness when they walk in a room, and other people bring happiness when they leave the room. So make sure you bring happiness when you come into the room.
I love it. I love it. What a wise father. Wow. What is, because there is so many entrepreneurs that are watching that show. There are so many people that are just dreaming right now about having their own business, and you are successful and you're creative. So how do you gain this creativity, and maybe what is one of the most important pieces of advice you would give those people that are in the early stages of building their businesses or just dreaming about having?
Oh, yeah. In one word, clarity.
I love it.
What is the one thing that you know that you have in your possession, whether it's a training program, whether it's a product, whether it's a coaching program, it doesn't matter. You got to be crystal clear on your message. And please let me just share this. When you start out to deliver your presentation, please don't start with I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm a TV host, blah, 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 blah. It has no value to the person that's watching you, because the person out there, they want to know two things about you. Number one, can you help me in my hour of need? Can you solve my problem? If you're a coach or a trainer and you help people deal with anxiety and tragedies and stuff like that, they're looking to see, can I confide in you? Can you help me through this dark period of time in my life? They don't care what school you went to. You may be a graduate of high school, or maybe got a GED from high school. But with your wisdom, your knowledge, your God-given talent, and your heart, you got a PhD in their book. You really do. And the second thing they're looking for, are you credible? Are you trustworthy? That should be in your message. That all starts with clarity. And once you get crystal clear on your message, then you can actually start creating other courses or other books if you're an author, whatever you want to do. And then the third step is that you'll have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the foundation to scale your business. That's very
go ahead.
That's very important, because we've had people that's come to us and they have 4 or 5 different things. And they give this away and they'll give that away. And then it's, okay, I got to create something else. Now these people like me because I give them stuff, but now maybe they'll buy something. Well, it doesn't work like that, because all they do is keep spinning their wheels in the mud. Sure, give people free things. Sure, I'm not saying don't do that. Please do. As an offering, give them something of value. But also, when you offer free things out there, make sure it's got value, but also make sure it helps build up your credibility as far as a reliable, trustworthy person that can deliver the goods in their hour of need.
Beautiful. I will remind to everyone who's gonna watch later, so leave us a note replay that you're watching and listening, and let me remind you what Jim just said. 3 key pieces of advice that he gives for you to scale your business or your message, whatever you're working on. be clear on your message. And question number one, you said, can you help me in my alley of need, whatever the need is, the pain that you are experiencing at the moment? Second, are you trustworthy? That is so the key. Oh my gosh, I would not ever work with anyone if I don't trust them.
Yeah.
And so many times I started working with people when I didn't really trust them, and this was a disaster because I did not really get what they were trying to tell me. I didn't trust them, so it was terrible. And number three, knowledge and experience. When you do step number 1 and 2, you have knowledge and experience, then you can scale your business. That is what a great wisdom and advice for everyone out there. Jim, thank you so very much for sharing your experience and your wisdom with us today. And I know that everything what you just talked about, you help people to achieve. So is it that how you do it with the scale pathway or a 6-minute webinar? Can you talk about that?
They're both tied together. The 6-minute, let me tell you about the 6-minute webinar. It was originally created to help a person deliver their message to attract their ideal client with a call to action. It was that simple. Then, as we kept working at it, recently I was on a summit in India, and they had so many speakers there, we were limited to about 10 minutes. So I thought, I'll do the 6-minute webinar. And what I did, I took the format of the 6-minute webinar using ScriptPile, which was created by Don McGrath, Dandy Don, as I call him. And instead of saying during this 6-minute webinar, I started out, during my presentation, I'd like to share with you 3 ways that you can get your community involved. That is the first thing about the 6-minute webinar. So there's during this 6-minute webinar, I will show you 3 ways that you can lose weight. Boom, right there. In your first sentence, you've actually attracted the people who are interested in losing weight. And people like me and Beatas not interested in losing weight, we're out of there, okay? No harm, no foul. But I use that to be able to craft my talk because it brings so much clarity, so much focus, because we all, especially me, I love to tell and I like to talk. That's why I'm a TV host, okay?
You're right.
I don't sit there and look like a pigeon or something the whole time. But the point is that, if you start telling too much, you're giving them too much information for them to process. Like if Beata would ask me, what are you going to do when you get off the show? Well, I'm going to go to the grocery store. That's all the information she needs. Right. She doesn't need me to say, well, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I need to pick up toothpaste. I need to pick up toilet paper. Don't forget toilet paper. You got to do that, right? I got to pick up this, I got to that, and the other, because that's just too much information. Because if I say I got to pick up some bread and eggs, it might trigger her mind to say, oh, yeah, I need bread and eggs too. And now she's tuned me out because now she's focused on what's important to her. Same thing if you're talking and telling, I teach people how to do emails and and they might think, oh my goodness, I forgot to send out that email, and then you've given them too much information. That's my point. Right. Because we process very, very simple things. This stuff about multitasking, try playing pinochle with yourself, okay? See how that works out for you. But I mean, multitasking is a lot of people say they do, but it's, you don't do anything well unless you start from the alpha to the omega. That's the self-discipline. Yes. Then you can go on to another thing, and you get a lot more accomplished in the long run than jumping around like popcorn on a hot stove.
That's so true. And so I think it was at the early stages when you just started sharing about the 6-minute webinar. I joined you once, and I know that it evolved at this moment, and I would love to go back for sure. and I know
Oh, yeah.
that's powerful and effective.
Mhm.
So how this scale pathway and 6 minutes webinar goes together?
Okay. Uh, Bill Heinrich and Don McGrath and I, we all own the 6 minute webinar and scale pathway. Well, really what happened was that we had a meeting or a webinar out in a physical webinar on stage out in Phoenix, Arizona. This was in 2019 around October, November. And we were expecting a lot of people to show up and not that many people showed up. So to give good quality time, we decided to give everybody a chance to give a talk on stage. And to be able to give everybody a talk and have enough time for everybody, we had to limit to 6 minutes. And I was thinking at first, I said, wow, 6 minute talk? I'm used to doing 30, 45 minutes. I mean, I don't know how this is going to work. I mean, but when Don did a great job of just hitting the highlights, boom, 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 boom. And then when we got back, Stephanie Dwayne, one of our members, she was from Florida. The class was out in Phoenix. She goes back and she says, hey, this will work. She's a clinical hypnotist. When she talks to people about quitting smoking, that's all she talks about. I will show you 3 ways that you can quit smoking. Boom, 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 boom. It's all about smoking. And then if it's about dealing with anxiety, I will share with you 3 ways that you will help you with anxiety. And it's all about anxiety. And she gave a presentation. She only had 10 minutes, so she said, I'll do the 6 minute talk and just fill in a little bit. She made several sales, but one lady came up to her and says, who is your speaking coach? And then she comes back to me and Don and says, hey, when you guys going to put on that 6 minute talk again? And we didn't get it. And we were the ones that created it. So what happened during the pandemic, when we created the Zoom series on Zoom, Facebook Live, we're live, Facebook, woo, the message of inspiration, hope, that's where I first met Beata. And then it started becoming evident that we needed to have a 6 minute talk to be able to fit everybody in and not have people just talking and talking and talking. And because most of the talkers like that, they talk about themselves, not in an egotistical way, but they go on and on and on about what's important in their life. And that's a disconnect with the audience because everyone wants to know, what you can do for them. They want to know, is your story interesting? Can you help me? Have you been down in my shoes and all that? And that's where it kind of came to us. And then Don gave a presentation and Bill says, hey, you remember that 6 minute talk? We need to implement that. And that's how the 6 minute webinar got born. And we created it to be a separate entity from the scale pathway because we knew it had its own merit, could stand on its own legs. And that's how it came about.
Wow. So it's how the creativity comes to you, yeah? Working with other like-minded people and hey, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Let's bring it to the world and just try it. So for everyone out there, if you have a dream or idea, don't wait and keep it as a secret. Just present it to the world and then you can always adjust. It's not once and forever, yeah?
Exactly. And remember, I don't care if, how many years of experience or minutes of experience or months of experience or whatever you've got, there is no such thing as the perfect presentation. And so don't worry about dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's because, it's not going to happen. Just like this presentation here that I'm doing today, if I do it tomorrow, I'll probably do it different. And I look for ways to do it better, say things more intelligent. Because saying things intelligent sometimes is a real challenge for this old country boy, you know what I mean? But my point being is don't worry about, being perfect because that will handicap you. That will cripple you. It will put you in a box and you're going to feel like you're in a vacuum. Don't do that to yourself. Just be authentic from the heart and speak from the heart and go and grow from there. And you'll be glad you did. Trust me on that.
Okay, so from everything you shared today, and it's my almost last question.
Okay.
So for this nice closure, what would you say the best way to scale your future, everyone who is watching us? Or so what is the best way to scale our future now at this moment, in one sentence, one word, whatever you want to share?
Be a good servant. Have a servant's heart. There is a proverb, and I think it's Proverb 11:25, but it was written by Solomon. And I tell people this: here's the richest man on planet Earth. He's also the smartest man on planet Earth. Even the historians prove that. But he's telling the average people like me and you, if you focus on being a blessing to others, you will be blessed.
Wow.
And I put that analogy kind of like the farmer, because I grew up on a farm. Look at the farmer. In the spring, he tills the field, he plows the fields, he gets the fields ready, he plants the crops, he works the crops, and then in the fall, he will receive his blessing of the harvest. And that's the way it is in life. When you invest in others, you're going to find that little hinges will open big doors for you that you did not even know existed. It's happened to me again and again and again. That's why I do what I do.
Wow, what a beautiful ending. But before I will let you go, first of all, thank you so much for being here with me and sharing all your wisdom from the bottom of your heart. And what is the best way for people to find you, to follow you, to get to know not only who you are, but what you do and how you can help them?
Probably the easiest way is on our YouTube channel, because all of our shows are recorded and uploaded to YouTube. Messages of Inspiration and Hope. We're going to start running that show 5 days a week because it's so much more popular and it makes it a lot more simpler. Plus the outreach that we're doing, Messages of Inspiration and Hope on YouTube. You can also catch us on e360tv.com. The shows are there. Just scroll down to Positive Vibrations and then go to the right till you see Messages of Inspiration and Hope. And if you want to get in touch with me, just get in touch with me at the TV station, inspiration@e360tv.com.
And I will drop all the links to where to find you under the show today.
Okay.
But also, if you can remind this free gift that you you can share with me, and I can put the link, or you said your email, the free.
Yeah, just email me. Yeah.
About public speaking.
Oh yeah, overcoming the fear of public speaking. Because I've got a degree in that one. I've done my time in that one. Trust me on that. But it's real easy once you understand the principles of it. It really is. And Beata, I just want to say two things, and this demonstrates reinforces what I've said during the show here. First of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show. And second of all, if you want to be successful in life, and y'all talked about watering others, being a blessing to others, and you'll be blessed yourself. Beata, when we put on that summit in India for the speakers, you're drafted.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're drafted, girl. You're drafted.
Wow.
You're drafted. Okay.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Yes. And wow, thank you so much for your kind words and support, because Jim, if you connect with him, he really serves from his heart and he's always supporting you. So I'm forever grateful to be having you in my close circle, and for sharing what you just shared with us today. I hope to have you again soon. Okay. So what was the email that people can go to for the free gift?
Email inspiration@e360tv.com. That's the best email to reach me at.
Yes, and people can also go to Facebook and find you there.
Yeah.
Because I know that you post out there as well. So YouTube, Facebook, and email that I'm gonna post under the show. Thank you so very much, Jim. I hope you have a wonderful day, and
thank you.
Thank God that you don't have your phobia anymore. Like you can speak to us and share your wisdom.
Yeah, I still got my ignorance, but I can't get rid of it for some reason.
Well, I guess it's, it's some kind of disease because I have it too.
I hear you. Hope it's not catching too much for you folks out there. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For everyone who's watching us, thank you for watching. Share if you are with us. I cannot see everyone here. And if you are on the replay, post the replay. And please, please, please share this message with your friends and family, because you never know who might need to listen to that today, who might need to hear that message. So thank you so much. See you next week, Tuesday, every Tuesday at noon Mountain Standard Time. Jim Grant was my very special guest today. Love you, man. Thank you for being here and serving us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.